Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This was about 10 taps for patch 13.5, which brought us tons of quality of life features. But using some of these quality of life features isn't as easy as you would think, considering their quality of life features. But that's Tarkov. So I'm gonna go over 10 things that came in patch 13.5 that'll make your life easier, including one that's kind of a current bug that'll probably help you get some more frames depending on how your settings are set up and what system you have. So let's get into the video and make your life easier in Tarkov. So first up is SCAV voice lines. BSG added a whole new way to communicate with the bots as long as you are a player SCAV. So now not only does the old follow command work where you just wave your hand and get them to follow you, you can also use the voice commands help, spread out, take cover, quiet, stop, and also the voice command to follow will work the same way as the gesture. Now, getting clever with using these, you can do all sorts of things from get help like ammo and guns and meds to having them attack PMCs for you so that you can get the kill, or at least they're kind of like meat shields and you can run away. These are dependent on SCAV karma. So even if you have bad SCAV karma, sometimes they'll listen to you, but the higher your SCAV karma, the more likely they are to respond. So on your next SCAV raid, just go to your rotary wheel, which is just holding the Y button, and you can go to these different commands and find them, and just play around with the AI and see if you can get them to follow you, maybe give you some goodies. I've even heard stories of people getting moonshines on factory from AI SCAVs. Now, next up is the weapon rack, and we're going to specifically talk about this, not just because it's new, but there's some intricacies here that seems to be bugs with everybody. So the first time you build this, it won't let you in. You'll go to the screen from up here. If you click on weapon stand, this little transfer items won't be there. A restart of your game will fix that. It has for everybody I've talked to. So once you're there, you click transfer items or go to it up in your hideout if you're walking around in it. And it's just kind of like another weapon case, but it has some specific rules. So like, for example, you can't rotate guns. They have to go in up or the right direction. So they have to be horizontal. You can't rotate them and do crazy Tetris. It's more limited Tetris, if you will. And there are two sides. You get those by clicking on these two buttons over here on the left. And I'm going to take my camera away and show you there's one more button down here on the bottom. And this opens up only weapons in your stash. So if you click on this, it'll show you every completed weapon in your stash, whether they're in a case, a backpack, it doesn't matter where they're at. As long as they're not on your person, they'll show up here, and then you can transfer them around. So get clever with it, do whatever you want. I kind of like it. I have some cool guns on the backside of my workbench and guns that are meaningful to me. Like I wiped lobby with this Mosin, so I threw it up there, but you can put your gunsmith guns up here before you build them or whatever you want to do. It's kind of like a 2 weapon boxes for you at level 1. Now to upgrade it, you need to have shooting range level 1. I'm on my way to level 3 or level 3 right now. And level 2 lets you do 2 weapon rack, which is also upgrading right now. And I'm assuming level 3 will give me the level 3 weapon rack. And that just makes them bigger as far as I know. We'll see once we get there. All right, so the next one we have is the med hotkey. A lot of people haven't been able to figure this out yet. And what this is the ability to select where you heal with a drop-down menu. Now, in order to do this, you have to make a quick settings change. So I'll heal my thorax here real quick, and we'll go into the settings, and I'll show you what you need to change. You've got to go to controls, and then you got to scroll all the way down to your slots, your slot 4 through 0. And this is going to be where you change the way this works. And there is a downside to this, and I'll talk about it in a second. So you've got to change whatever slots you usually put your meds on to release. Change it from press to release. Now I keep 4, 5, and 6 as press. 7, 8, 9, 10, 0 are where I usually put my meds. And once you do that, you hold the button. So I'm going to hold 0 right now. And then you use your mouse wheel. And then it'll allow you to go up and down and select a med or cancel it. And this will work for even multiple bleeds, which you're not going to use it that much. But a big one for the grizzly, for example, like let's say you have a bleed and your chest is hurt and maybe you have a broken leg. The grizzly is going to focus on the bleed first. By holding 0, I can go right to the chest and heal my chest and ignore that light bleed or that heavy bleed and fix my chest real quick. So that's the advantage. The downside is there's a delay, and that delay is a product of when you're doing your hotkeys. So because it's on release, that command doesn't activate anymore until you let go. So right now I hit 8, I'm holding 8, nothing happens. So until I release 8, it won't change that hotkey, which has led to some problems when I'm trying to hotkey stuff quickly. Like if I pick up a scav or whatever, it won't do that, which is also why I don't hotkey 4, 5, 6, because I use those for grenades or utility items on my hotkey bar. So I don't like I'll be clicking really quickly 4, 5, 6, and sometimes it won't hotkey. And it took me a while to realize that's because I had it on release. And the same thing for grenade. If you have it on release and you go to hit 4, it's not going to do it till you release, and there's a little bit of a delay there, and that delay can be the meaning of between life and death in some instances on the game. Now, another one we're going to talk about here, which along the same kind of lines has to do with hotkeys, is the quick swap. This allows you to switch to your secondary or pistol, whatever is in your pistol slot, a little bit more quickly. That was just a regular swap. So if I go to the quick swap, which is double tap 1 default, you'll see how much faster it pulls it out. It's just a little bit quicker, but that can matter, right? Especially if you're in a oh shit situation, your gun jams or whatever it might be. But again, there's a delay there because with the way settings work, when you have a double click, there is this double click timeout. So you have 0.3 of a second before the game recognizes and goes, okay, we're ready to go when you do a regular pullout. So for me, I don't really have any interest in a regular pullout. I want a quick pullout. So in order to do that, you got to go to your sidearm slot and change this to press, the sidearm quick swap, and it'll undo this. But don't worry, that doesn't matter because all that matters. I'll make sure you save your changes too when you do this because I've done that. So what'll happen now is it doesn't matter whenever I do it, it does the quick swap. Now, if you notice down on the bottom here, let me take off my camera. When you quick swap, it eats arm stamina and quite a bit of it, probably about 30%, 25, 30%. And I'm going to get to where I use it all up and watch what happens to the pistol when I use it all up. You see how sway the pistol is? You can't hit anything. So keep that in mind. That is a downside of the quick swap is it will eat up your arm stamina. But I'm going to have it that way anyways. I'd rather get the pistol out quickly than have a super accurate one, but that's me personally. Also, one more quick note about pulling out. For the sidearm slot is that the sawed-off shotgun, Rizzy's dad's shotgun, which is available on Jaeger level 2, is also a sidearm and can be quick swapped as well. So you can pull out double barrels into somebody's face pretty quickly. Next up is a change they made to how scopes interact with weapons. As you can see, this SV98 is massive. It's 3 slots tall. That's because they made scope rings, the 30 and 34 millimeters +1 on the up. So it makes your weapons 3 slots thick now for your sniper rifles, which doesn't matter a whole lot when it comes to putting them in your weapon slot. They go there. But if you got somebody's gun in your bag and it's got a scope on it, make sure to take that off because it's going to get you some extra slots just right out the gate. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people might not have noticed that, especially if it's eating up your inventory space. That's what's causing it, is the scope, any scopes you might have on top of the gun. I think one of the most underrated but most impactful changes they've made that I even forget to use because it's just muscle memory and playing the game for so long is this new drop down that they have available on your kit. So if you have stuff buried in rigs or whatever you're looking for, weapon cases, backpacks, wherever, you don't need to go hunting around for it because all of these things have the ability to be selected. Backpacks, rigs, you can't do it with your pockets, unfortunately, but the holsters, eyewear, sheaths, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's in your inventory, it allows you to pick it and it'll pull it right out. So just for example, I'll go hide this in here, right? And if I want that helmet, I just click on it and it pulls it right out, puts it on. Easy way to get stuff from your inventory if you're looking for it. You don't have to go hunting. So just keep that one in mind as well. It's going to be one that's going to take us a while to learn, but it's there. Now with this is presets. Just a quick word on this, just so you guys understand them. The way presets work is if you want to create one, like if I wanted to create this as a preset right here, we click on this save button and it brings up the set preset, and I'm just going to put test in here, and that preset is saved. It says test. If you want to open one, it's got the information, like let's go to my Cora Brokeman kit. This is the new level 3 armor. Over here, it's going to show you what you don't have, like certain things. It's going to say if you're missing stuff inside, like weapon parts. The weapon thing's still a little wonky when you buy, so when you do equip this kit, be very careful with the weapons that you're not buying extra weapon parts. But the really big thing, the thing that's super cool about this is the pouches. It will actually fill out your pouches based on the items that you saved in there, and the spots they're in. So this kit, I had a car med kit, 2 S-merches, bandages, an IFAK, my FMJ stacks that I had split up. I had done this just on accident, but it saved that. The grenade, the backpack, and then your secure container loadout. However you had things in your secure container. So So you're going to need to remember that, because if you have certain things in your secure container for that kit and you hit it, it's going to kick everything out of that and put everything back the way it was. So just keep that in mind. When you go to hit equip, it's going to say, okay, you can click ignore and grab everything you have and ignore the stuff you don't, or you can go on and buy parts. And this is kind of where I want to show you. Like right now it's buying the Mosin off of proper, right? Well, it has all these parts. You don't need to buy this stuff. So just keep an eye on that. It's kind of a buggy thing. These aren't available, so don't worry about it. You can click traders. It works just like the gunsmith screen. And then you buy everything you need and it equips it. It's super easy. It's nice. It's a great quality of life feature. I can't wait till I get a little bit higher level where I'm buying more stuff than I am just using stuff in my inventory. And then I think I'm going to end up using it quite a bit. Now, the next piece is one of the more controversial ones, is pain meds. I'm not going to get into the good or bad of it. I'm simply going to provide you a tip, something that that has dawned on me that I'm keeping in mind and I'm doing that I would never do past much my first couple of days of the wipe. And that is because pain meds now create a blur effect, and they take away all the colors from the game. Everything looks flat. It's hard to ID targets. Being on pain meds sucks. I'm never on pain meds now unless I have to be. With the exception of like crossing streets. But what I have found is that like if I'm crossing streets on streets or big open fields on shoreline where I want to be pain med because I don't want to get caught out in the open, that I was getting across and getting to the other area, and then I'd get into a fight and I couldn't see anything because of the pain meds. And this is even more, the darker it gets or more rainy, it's even worse. So what I've started doing is I've started bringing the pain pills, the little pain pills, because they only last 80 seconds. So they wear off very quickly. Yes, they hit your hydration really hard, so you always got to make sure you have something to drink. But for those really quick crossings on streets, or if you're just trying to get somewhere and you don't want to have like a 300-second or, sometimes longer pain med effect, these pain pills have been key to me for that. I've been bringing them with just that case. They're 8,000 rubles. They are a little pricey, but that is the benefit to using them. Just something I wanted to bring up. Maybe people weren't thinking about with the new pain med meta. All right, we're almost done here. Second to last one's real quick. Just a quick thing to bring up on graphics. There's currently a bug with NVIDIA REFLEX, low latency. It doesn't affect everybody the same. For me, it pretty much caps my frames at like 60, which is really annoying for me. For you, that might not be a problem. It might cap your frames lower. It might cause other frame issues. I am currently running with it off until we get notification that the bug has been addressed. I prefer it on because it uncaps your frames and other things, but right now it's off. And so if you're noticing some frame issues, try this, see if it helps. If it doesn't, sorry. If it does, great. And then as soon as they patch this, I will make sure to let everybody know so that you know to turn it back on if you want to use it. Now, the last one is the quick sale on fence. Basically, when you get out of raid, if you have a completely chock full inventory, you didn't have much of a choice before. You had to kind of just delete stuff if you didn't have room for it, or if you were just lazy and you didn't want to deal with the stuff, you just exited the raid and the stuff vanished. It was no big deal. They added the ability to quick sale down on fence now. Now, I've done a little bit of testing with this. I haven't noticed any issues myself, but I know other people have. That the calculation down at the bottom will say it's going to give you 10,000 rubles, and it only gives you like 8,000. I'm not sure what to say about that other than do a bug report and bring it up with BSG so they understand it. But as far as the prices are concerned, if you're gonna go sell something to fence versus you're gonna sell it on the quick sell, the price listed is the same. But as far as the calculation and what you end up receiving, maybe that's a difference. And maybe there's something in there that has to do with scav rep. I don't know. So just keep that in mind when you're getting out of scav raid. You have the ability to quickly sell stuff if you don't want to deal with it in your inventory. But that wraps up the video. If you got this far, I have to imagine you liked the video. So don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more tips. We're going to do tons of tips like this, I think, going forward. They're just easier to do than other style of videos. So we're going to do more of these for all sorts of stuff. So make sure you subscribe so you're alerted to those. Quick shout out to my music. It's my music. It's kind of what sponsors the channel, because I don't really do sponsors. It's on Spotify. Links down in the description. It's free to listen to. It's lo-fi. It's great for background stuff. I listen to it when I'm working or when I'm on stream, obviously. And more importantly, it is copyright. It's not copyright free. We have copyright on it, but content creators that use it don't have to worry about us copyright striking them or doing DMC takedowns. We made it for the community to be able to use. So if you're a creator, you know a creator that's looking for music, let them know to go check it out, see if there's anything they like. All we ask is that you attribute us down in the bottom of wherever you're using it so people know where you found the music. But with that, we'll wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. I wish you the best of luck in raids, and we'll see you in Tarkov.